Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel, the segment where I can, let the dogs out and unleash my inner rage and anger and talk about things that normally piss me the hell off, Today is very unprecedented territory, because, well, I think it's gonna rain soon. I'm actually recording the video like 15 or so to 9 a.m. I started at like around 8-ish, This is the earliest I've ever recorded videos, it's because I got some stuff to do today. It's my mom's birthday, so we're gonna go out and swashbuckle, with my dad and stuff, so I have to get these videos done. But this is actually a remake of one that I did, I believe, back in 2021, back when my channel was a very different and cringy place, where I would record videos way too close to the camera for some reason, there was barely a background, so I wanted to kind of redo it in a different style, the way that I record videos today. And the title is not clickbait, it is something that really truly has seen a tragic fall in recent years and I believe no longer even exists, which is of course romance. This is going to be a concept vlog, by the way, which is a term that I coined to this channel for a video that I just come here and talk to you guys, without any photos or videos. It's literally just the intro and then in the outro, and in between it's me in the background music just talking, So here's the thing, guys. To quote Emma Stone in a movie about, high school sappy teen drama romance, whatever happened to chivalry? Whatever the hell happened to that? What happened to romantic gestures and men being nice to women and them reciprocating that with their own brand of niceness, Whatever happened to this, man? My generation, when I was a teenager, romance was still a thing, Girls were really into the whole sappy romantic gestures of getting flowers and chocolates and stuffed animals, And it seems like the generations, the further back you go, the more romantic things were, There was, of course, a period there, probably like in the 50s backwards, where it was just sexism, and women being objectified, but still, there was a period there, like I think in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where there was a lot of rampant romance, But I feel like today's generation right now, the kids really don't know what romance is, man, because it's really hard for a guy, for example, to be romantic without coming off as creepy, and desperate. So it almost seems like society, as the years have gone on, has completely forgotten what romance is, to the point where the women who are young today, the girls, girls like in their early 20s more or less, they really have no idea what romance is, The only concept of romance that they have are the movies that they watch, and then even so, if something like that happens to them in real life, they're not going to know how to react, because their parents never taught them how romance works. Back when I was a teen, it was completely normal, of course. I mean, there were times when it didn't work out very well, but it was still completely normal for you to like a girl and give her, like a poem or something, or even write a love song, or maybe give her, chocolates or something, It was very normal for you to give gifts to somebody that you were into, even if you weren't in a relationship yet, And I myself have written quite a few romantic poems and letters, and I have spent my own money to buy, little romantic gifts and stuff. And sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. That's what happens, Sometimes the girl would like it, and we would go out on a date or two. Other times she would be like, oh my God, get the hell away from me, it happens, man. But the thing is that today, romance is seen as kind of like this weird, creepy, stalkery thing, where if you try to be romantic with a girl, it comes off the completely wrong way. She misinterprets it, and she is going to look at you as this really desperate, kind of pathetic loser who has no idea how to talk to a girl, Instead of looking at that as a nice, romantic way of approaching her and showing appreciation for her and treating her like a lady, no, instead she sees the guy as a freaking cringe fest, Which I think is really unfair, man, because a little romantic gesture can really go a long way if you know how to use it, I mean, come on, what kind of girl doesn't like romance? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Over the years, I've talked with many girls about this, and the opinions have always been kind of mixed, There are girls who still do like romance, even today, and others who don't. There are girls who have literally told me that they hate romantic gestures, They think that they're sappy and just pathetic and very sad because it shows that the guy is kind of like a little, what's the expression? I don't know. He's kind of like, I was about to say something that is politically incorrect, but here in Brazil, it's different. We can get away with saying it, but they say that it seems, okay, I'm just going to come out and say say it. The girls say that, you know, the guy who's too romantic comes off as a little gay. You know, they don't see romance as a masculine gesture. You know, the guy comes off as a little feminine, and that's what they don't like. But dude, come on, how is there such a thing as a girl who doesn't like getting flowers, you know, with a little love poem tucked inside, or maybe a box of chocolates, or even a stuffed animal of her favorite animal, you know? Well, how is it possible that they don't like it? I understand that it's preferences, opinions. Maybe she was raised a different way. Maybe she didn't see a lot of romantic gestures, you know, from her father towards her mother growing up. You know, it could be a whole lot of different factors, but we live in an era where the romantic comedy is very enunciated in cinema, you know, and we see a lot of different cliches, and girls always go crazy for those Nicholas Sparks books, you know. So it's incredible to think that there is an entire generation of girls who have grown up without wanting romance in their lives, you know. They are just party girls, and they don't really care about getting those gestures, because whenever a girl gives a romantic gesture to a guy, it's also very sweet and endearing. I actually believe that in Japan it's a cultural thing, you know. It's customary for the girl to give the boy a button that she likes to show that she's interested, you know. But in other cultures, like in America, for example, it's very normal for the guy, at least back when I was there when I was a teenager, but it's normal for the guy to approach the girl, you know, for the boy to tell the girl that he likes her, and he's the one who, you know, begins the romantic gestures and not the other way around. Today, we're very progressive, and that's good, you know. Girls can approach guys now, and that's awesome. They can be the ones to ask them out or give romantic gestures, or basically show outright that they're interested, or just tell them, you know. I really love girls who do this, you know. I'm coming up to the age where I'm starting to value women a lot more as individuals, you know. When I was younger, I was very sexist, you know. I am very ashamed of that, but as time went on, you know, and a certain ex-girlfriend of mine really helped open up my eyes to that, you know. She was a very strong feminist, so to this day, I still respect her for that. And so it's weird how things work, you know. As time goes on, certain things that were looked upon as normal in the past are shunned today, you know. Today, a girl will think you're a stalker if you give her a love note or something, you know. I still do this today, but I understand now that it's much better when you're already in a relationship, you know. I have tried, you know, up to as recently as a couple of years ago, I was still writing poems and letters to girls that I like, you know, but anonymously, you know, because the best way for you to approach this is by doing it completely discreetly, you know. I think that, you know, love letters are still pretty okay, man. I think they're very acceptable because at least they're discreet, and sometimes, you know, depending on the relationship you have with the person or how you're approaching them, where and when you're doing it, you know, it's better to keep the love letter discreet, you know. Don't sign it with your name, just give it to them, see how they'll react. I do this sometimes. I'm very creative when it comes to, you know, asking women out. I try to do things like outside of the box instead of just directly approaching, because if you use the direct approach, there's a chance that you might crash and burn if she's not interested, you know. But if you write her maybe a poem or a letter or something, and find a way to slip it to her discreetly, maybe the reaction will be better. And even if it's not, at least you're going to know. I have done this before. I have given out romantic anonymous letters, you know, and I have observed the reactions of the ladies and seen, hey, okay, she liked it, never mind, you know. Sometimes I'll ask her about it when she says I got a love letter, you know. And then there are times when I never revealed who it was, and to this day they don't know that it was me. But the exact opposite has also happened, you know. Sometimes I would give a letter anonymously, you know. I would even say, hey, a friend of mine told me to give you this, and she's like, wow, it's so sweet, I love it, wow, I want to meet him. So I insert myself into the picture, and before you know, we're going out. It does happen. Romance, you know, can still happen today. It does exist, but overall it's just dead. Unfortunately, this generation now of young whippersnappers does not know how to do romance properly, man. They'll buy a very cheap box of chocolates that you can get in a supermarket, you know, for like $1 or something, and they'll slap on a little piece of paper with, you know, a quote from a movie that the girl likes, or, you know, a song that they listen to, and that's, hey, that's romance, you know. And the girl accepts it, you know, like there's no effort, you know. Like about 2 girlfriends ago, you know, when I was in a relationship with somebody who ultimately went on to do something that I don't want to talk about, you know. I was very overly romantic with her. I was a musician at the time, so I literally wrote entire songs for her and gave them to her, you know, with her name and stuff. I wrote her poems, I bought her chocolates and flowers, not all the time, it wasn't frequent, you know. We dated for 8 months, you know, so all of these romantic gifts were very spaced out, you know, but I always enjoyed public displays of affection, you know, and sometimes, you know, picking her up in my arms to carry her, to get her over an obstacle, that kind of thing, you know, very sappy stuff that you grow up seeing in movies. And Today, there's barely any reference for that, you know, because today the kids will look at movies and try to replicate it in real life, and it's gonna suck because the girl is gonna see it coming, you know. Nobody is creative anymore with the romance, you know. I mean, of course, buying flowers and chocolates is very, very cliche, but it's still nice, you know. I have a theory that inside every woman is a princess or a queen who deserves to be treated as such, you know. Not 24/7, you know. You gotta be normal and down to earth, but occasionally, you should never shower your significant other with gifts, but occasionally doing something completely outside of the box is definitely going to show that you appreciate her a lot more than just saying I love you all the time, you know. So to me, romance has been redefined as absolute nothingness today, you know. It's very rare for you to see a girl who likes romance and a guy who knows how to do it right, you know. You have to be creative and think outside the box and do something completely original that's going to show your unique appreciation for that person, you know. Not just copy from a movie or a TV show or a book that you read, you know. You can't just take a Nicholas Sparks book and read it and all of a sudden call yourself Casablanca, you know. That's not how it works, man. You gotta put work and effort into it. I consider myself a hopeless romantic. I'm really good at doing romantic gestures, but we're talking about years, man. Years of trying many different methods and crashing and burning quite a few times, you know. I have this formula down now. You know, if I'm trying to get with a girl, you know, then I see that she's a romantic as well, I'm going to know exactly what to do. But then again, when it comes to women, I'm a chameleon, you know, I can camouflage myself very well. So, like, depending on how the girl is, I keep saying girl and woman in the same sentence. That's going to be kind of weird, isn't it? It's because I'm, like, almost 30. So, like, when I say woman, I mean, that's what I'm going for. But then again, girl is more accepted because it's like the YouTube lingo. Whatever, man, you know, members of the opposite sex, females, whatever, you know. Whenever I'm into somebody, I try to analyze how she is, and if I happen to notice that she's romantic, I'll just be that character, you know. I can be very nice and sweet and romantic and gentle and respectful, you know, but if the girl is a crazy party goer, you know, who doesn't care about romance, then I can immediately camouflage myself and transform into a party lover as well, you know. I can be rude and crass and a douche. It all depends on what the girl is like, you know. That's how it's essentially a way for you to, I mean, don't think of it the wrong way, you know, girls and women who are watching this video, don't take this the wrong way. It's just a strategy that we have that I'm sure many of you use as well with us, you know. You just gotta try to not exactly change who you are, but just temporarily put on a different face just to see if maybe, just maybe, you can have something in common with the person and spark up a conversation that might lead to something else, you know. And hey, maybe eventually you'll end up in a relationship, but without romance, man, it sucks. I think women deserve romance, you know? Like, romantic gestures here and there really, you know, elevates their self-esteem and makes them feel better, you know? Not that women need men to tell them that they look good or anything. They should already know that themselves, but just hearing it is always, you know, a little bit more empowering, you know? So, yes, that's just how it is. How society raised us to be sexist, you know? And we're trying to break that today and just respect them more. And we can do that a lot with romance, but still, that's just how it is. My generation will probably be the last romantic one, you know, because holy freaking crap, everything just sucks today. I want to hear from you guys, though. Let me know what you thought about my opinions here. Let me know in the comments below if you are romantics as well, if you're not, and if you don't like romance, you know. If you're women watching this, let me know down below if you like romantic gestures, and if you don't, why not, you know. I'm actually legitimately curious to hear from the ones who don't like them. So it's all good, guys. And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so I can know exactly what time I upload it. It's all good, baby. It's all good. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the romantic outro screen.